she never responded.
Oh, she didn't?
No, let me go check back on that.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Good. Hey Christy.
Hello.
How are ya?
I'm fine. I'm hot and sweaty. I'm on my way home from working out.
Oh, good. Good. How are you, Mallory?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Good.
Boot camp at 12, so I'm excited, and then work with Ashley.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. How's it going, Anthony?
It's going really good. How about you?
Good. Good. Yeah. I can't complain.
Yeah, Christy, I contacted her through instant message and said, give me a call, and she never even read that message.
Huh. I'll follow up with her.
I mean, put her in a group message with me, and I will definitely talk to her for sure.
Okay.
Bonnie, I still can't believe how bad I screwed up that Zoom.
I know. I think they were texting her like crazy afterwards, so I think it was fine.
Okay.
But we are going to do the 8:30 p.m. one Sunday night.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a charger.
I did a Zoom for Bonnie on a couple of days ago, and Bonnie said, I'm doing a shared late call for Eric. Am I doing it? And I said, yeah, that's fine. And I didn't ask any questions. So I'm like drawing out their tree, and I go, and this is the thing, when you show this to people, unless they don't have a brain, or if they don't have money, they don't have the money to buy it, they're going to do it. I mean, they would not have a brain to not do it. So I'm like on it. I must have said that 4 times. And we get all the way through it. And Bonnie goes, oh, Amy, we have some guests on the line. Do you mind going over the product?
I sent you right at the beginning. I sent you like an email thing through Zoom, and I said, these are prospects.
Oh my gosh, I thought I would die.
I was like, yep, these are prospects.
Yeah, and I was like, unless they don't have a brain, they're going to do it. Eric messaged me and he said, I told Bonnie that you thought that
No, but I messaged Eric. I said, that's how she does, like with business builders, with their mindset. That's how she does the calls. And he goes, I don't think so. And I said, yeah, she's got it in control. And then when he said that about buying this, I was like, oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, oh, well, the truth is the truth.
That's good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, Shalane, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Shalane. God, I look rough. Our festivals this weekend, our Texas Rice Festival, I was out till 2 a.m. So
I always look like I just got done working out because I never I'm gonna do another workout. So
I didn't even make my workout this morning because we were festivaling and doing festivals all night.
Good. That sounds fun. I want to be doing festivals.
Y'all need to come down for the Rice Festival, Amy. You and Shay, you'll have so much fun.
We'll have to. We always talk about
Yes.
it. Maybe by this time next year, Shane will be retired.
You can come eat alligator on a stick and
I love alligator. I really do.
crawfish and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, okay, so this is what really I want to talk to you guys about what are your executives really doing, and are your associates really doing, and those of your key people. So we're going to talk about that. It's 3 parts. We have today, and then Monday, and then Friday. So I wanted to just go straight into what are the associates doing and how to fix it, but I wanted to go back and really go over our systems and how to bring people in because of the duplication. But so I have this new commitment. I decided that October 1st was going to be my new year instead of January 1st. So I like set all my New Year's resolutions for October 1st instead, just because I don't want to wait until January. And so one of my resolutions is I can't say anything bad about anybody. And that is really hard. I didn't realize how much bad stuff I said. Yesterday we were at, I mean, it's not really bad, but we were at the volleyball game, and there's this lady that, and it doesn't start till October 5th. She sits down like past us, Mallory. I think you saw her, like where her voice does not match her body. Like she looks kind of manly, but she has the highest pitch, most obnoxious scream in the world. And she screams as if she's the only one in the world. So she's like, ah, mama, ah, mama. And I wanted to say something, and I felt like I couldn't because of my commitment. So anyway, but so when I say this, I'm only saying it for training purposes. I won't tell you who, but I was working with my most key associate that I work with. Like, so if you were to say to me, Amy, you have to develop an associate in 1 week, it would be this person. I mean, an executive in 1 week, it would be this person. So the most key personally enrollee that I have, I was working with her, and I called her a couple of days ago, and I just said, hey, tell me what's going on with Christy, what's going on with Lisa, what's going on? And I'm asking her, and she's telling me, and I said, okay, did you do the back office training with them? And she said, well, yeah, I took them through and I showed them how to change their auto shed, but I never took them to that other page, Team Destiny Online. And I'm like, like, Calgon, take me away. Like, how do I communicate this so that she's the best I have as far as a new personally enrolled associate, if that makes sense. And she's not doing what I'm asking her to do. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, what is it that these associates are actually doing? What are they doing? They're not doing what I asked them to do. And so I want to kind of go in and talk about that. That is, I will tell you the reason why she's not doing what she is supposed to be doing, though, is because I've been off track. So I was out of town, then I came back and had half a week here, and then this week I've been really focused on a couple of personal things. And so I feel like it's a little bit of my fault that hold on, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. A little bit of my fault that she's not where she's at. And so what I want to do is we're going to talk today. We're going to really talk about systems. And I'm going to get super real with you. I feel like some of this is going to be redundant. You already know what I'm getting ready to say, but I'm probably going to come at it with a little bit of a different intensity level because I've never been in my career so confident in what we have as far as systems, because I want it to be so clear in your mind that it's really easy for you to duplicate. And then we're going to come back next week and we're going to talk about rank advancing your associates through the system. So rank advancing them all the way and running with them. And then we're going to then talk about on Friday how to push your key people, because I feel like that is so important. In the past, not in my other business, but in this business, I feel like what I've done is you guys have had key people, and instead of me duplicating off onto you, I've just been like, here, just let me get them done for you. But what I want to do is I really want to communicate and run with you and help you to get your team rank advance executives. So one thing I want you to really be thinking in the back of your mind is, who do you have on your team that you want to rank advance? Because I would like for you to take one person and I want to work with you with that person like I taught you how to do three-way calls. like back in the day. Remember, back in the day, we did 20 calls together and I was on the road with you and getting you to executive. I want to go back and I want to do that now in helping you to develop your executive. And time-wise, we can only do that with one person. So I want you to pick that one person, one. And I want you to message me who that person is. And then what I want you to do is I want you to run with them. If it is at all possible for that person to be on the leg that you do not share with me or the leg that I do not work with you, then please find them on that leg. If that's not possible, if you're like, Amy, I just don't have anyone over there, that's all me, then we'll work with someone on the shared leg. But if you can find someone on the non-shared leg that I can help you run with, I feel like that's the best way for me to train you, if that makes sense. So really think about that one person. So I'm not asking you for your 5 key people. I'm asking you for your one person that you want to move to executive with, because what we're going to do is outside of these calls is we're going to start taking that person and I want to run beside you to get them there. So I want to talk to you about the systems. I literally think those of you that are on the call, I think you could do this business without following the system verbatim. You could. I mean, you can recruit without following it for verbatim. You can train without following it verbatim. But what happens is if you don't have a system that you're using day in, day out all the time, your duplication is going to fall short. And so this is the deal. When I'm going to be very raw with you guys. And I think Bonnie's the only person on here that came over from the other company with me. But whenever I came into Isagenix, when Bonnie and I came into Isagenix, my jaw dropped at the lack of training system that they had. And I about fell over because I thought, how in the world? I don't understand. And so I started implementing systems from my other business into this and then got a lot of flack. Amy, just use isagenixbusiness.com, use isagenixtools.com, use isahealth.com, just use the tools that are in place. And I can remember literally sitting down at my kitchen table crying because I cried like a baby because I have super bad ADHD. And so I felt like I didn't have a track to run on. And so here I'm going here and I'm going there and I'm going all over the map and feeling guilty like I'm trying to reinvent the wheel by adding different systems in. When I started working really wholeheartedly in June of 2015, a year ago, I just had to draw a line in the sand because I had to look at what's best for me, regardless of what anyone around me was thinking, saying, or doing. And because I'm not an overly anal person by any means at all, and I'm also not a naturally focused person, I have to have very strict systems to follow. If I don't follow them, then people fall through the cracks, things fall through the cracks, and I don't make progress. And so I literally sat down. I had one of those art notebooks, big art notebooks, and I sat down and I thought, okay, if I were building this business from beginning to end, what would I need? And that's where the systems came from. And it's not anything that isn't taught through Isagenix Business. It's just very simplified. And I know you guys have heard them. I know you know them, but I just want you to know the background of them. I also stole them from Mary Kay. If I were to be honest, I didn't develop them. I stole every system that we have. I stole it from the other company and implemented it into this. But when I started implementing it, things began to change. And now the more adamant I am in implementing it, the faster we're growing. The more adamant I am in sticking with it, the faster we're growing. And I think the faster that we're growing, the more confident I am that at some point we're probably going to be teaching these systems for Isagenix. And so they do work. And so I want to go over with you what that looks like when someone comes in. What do you do with them? Because this is the deal. Although I believe that you could do them without this, although I could believe that you could develop people without the systems, what happens is if you're developing them without systems, then they never saw a system. And then it's going to get weaker and weaker and weaker the farther down it goes. And you're going to work yourself into a job, not work yourself out of a job. And that's not what we want. We want you worked out of a job so that in 6 months, you're doing what I'm doing right now with your 6 executives. Does that make sense? That's really what we want. And so I'm going to be helping you to develop executives. But in the meantime, I feel like you've got to get back. I don't want to say you, we as a whole need to get back to the grassroots and make sure, are we following the systems verbatim? So know this, I do feel like keeping your personal business rolling and developing executives at the same time, I feel like it's a little bit like patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same time. It's not easy. And at this moment where you're at in the business, you cannot afford to be anal. You can't. Because if you're anal, what happens is you're worried about what this person's doing and that person's doing, and they're not doing it perfect and they're not doing it perfect. And pretty soon you're going to be a big stress ball, because we're working with people. They're never going to fit exactly into the boxes we're trying to put them in, because we're human. And so you got to know that it is a little bit of a juggling act. So the systems look like this. I know that you know these. I know that you know them, but I'm just going to go back to the grassroots and I'm going to go over them, and not only go over them, but talk about your objective. Why are you doing it? I think that when you understand why you're doing it, you will continue to do it and do it even more effectively. So the first thing is, and remember, ultimately our goal is to develop executives. That is our goal. Our goal is to develop executives. The people that make the most amount of money are the people that have developed the most executives, or let me be kind of blunt, the people who have people that are under them on their legs that have developed a lot of executives. Those are the people that make the most amount of money. And it never changes from company to company to company. I'll see all these company jumpers. Well, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go over here. Bottom line, you've got to duplicate yourself, which means building executives. So that's the ultimate goal. So the system. The first thing is every single person that comes onto your team should have back office training. Now, I know that I've went back and forth about this, but at the end of the day, I will tell you this. If I personally enroll someone, I do not send them a video. I do not have them get on a group back office. I've not even been doing group back office trainings because I don't even think that they're relevant. The only reason why I would do a group back office is to train you guys how to do a back office training. But when I personally enroll someone, I go through the back office training by myself with them. I've heard flack. Well, my schedule is busy, Amy. I don't have time to do that. I just want to send them a video. If it's a business builder, it takes you 30 solid minutes to go over back office training effectively. But let me ask you this. How many minutes did it take to get that recruit? Because you had to probably send out 20 reach outs in order to get 10 people to listen. And then from the 10 people that listen, you actually maybe got 2 recruits. And so it probably took you 2 to 3 hours to get that recruit. Now, can you spend an additional 30 minutes to keep them and duplicate them? You need to. That is your job. Your job, in fact, it is more important that you're actually getting retention with your current associates and working through them, because every single person that you bring in knows 250 people that you don't know. And so when you bring them in, you're not only bringing in them, but you're bringing in everybody they know. And your back office training is your gateway to get into who they know. That's your gateway. So it's not a favor to them. It's your job, and it's how you're going to develop consultants. So you're going to do the back office training with them. I do it one-on-one over the back office training. Now, when I'm doing it, my objective in the back office training, this is my objective. My objective is to get them on a product regimen. My objective is to get them to book 7 to 10 training calls with me. And my objective is to get them curiosity posting. Those are my 3 objectives. That's what they are. So that's really what I want to do. And so get them on a product regimen, to get them to book 10 training calls with me, and then to get them curiosity posting. That's my goal. That's my goal. Because I told Callie this the other day. She was like, Mom, can you make me chicken noodle soup? And I said, Callie, I cannot make it right now. I have a Zoom, but mom. I go, Callie, it's like this. I'm the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. You need to respect the fact I'm not making chicken noodle soup. And when you're doing the back office training, you are running it like the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business. Because if you don't do it with excellence, it gets watered down the farther down it goes from you anyway. And so you've got to do that with excellence. So, okay, so you're going to set up the back office training. Whenever you use Team Destiny online, it's not that it's any different than the back office. It's not. It's just that it's simplified. Everything that's on the back office is on there. It's just taking them through the tracks. So you're going to show them the Shake Day and Cleanse Day videos. You're going to get them enrolled in the IsaBody. You're going to talk about healthy mind and body. You're going to do those things. Now, as you're going through that and you're going over the Shake Day and Cleanse Day videos, at that point is when I talk about the Tracy O'Malley 14-day talk. I mean, I don't call it that to them. But what I tell them is every day for 14 days, I want you to message me and tell me your results so that we can stay on top of that. Something else that you guys are doing a phenomenal job of that I believe is what's really driving a lot of the people that we have turning to consultants, a lot of the curiosity posting, a lot of the success that we have is making sure that you're continuing on with accountability groups. Whether I'm running a group or I'm not running a group, if I were you, I would be trying to run a group about every 9 to 18 days where you're bringing in a new group of people and you're taking them through those accountability groups so that you're able to say to them, okay, I have a group that starts in 3 days or I have a group that starts in 2 days. Does that kind of make sense? So you want to make sure that those accountability groups are running. Those accountability groups, you guys, that is your lifeline. Because if those people are getting product results and you teach them how to curiosity post, like even texting their curiosity post to them, copy and paste this onto your page, and you're following through, you're going to see those people turning consultants a lot quicker. And then you're going to see that retention rate rising up. So you want to make sure you're doing this. And I know that this is a little bit redundant, but I'm going over it. Okay, now the next thing after you're doing that is you want to make sure that you spend a lot of time talking about training calls. Now I want to cover this. The people, whenever you teach someone how to do the 3-way call, you want to print out that form and you want to follow it verbatim every time, the 3-way call outline form. Because then your new associate has that and they can follow along with it. Don't deviate from it. Don't think, okay, this person only has 5 minutes to talk to me. I'm going to go through it really fast. Do what you need to do in order to do it correctly every single time. So if I have someone that I'm trying to convince to do the calls and they're a product user. So let's say Christy's a product user. I would say to her, Christy, do you want to get your product paid for or get it free? Like if you have results, she's probably going to say yes. So I'm going to say to her, okay, what I want you to know is I'm not talking about the business side. I'm talking only about the referral side. Christy, what's going to happen is when you're down 12 pounds by your first set of cleanse days, people are going to start asking you about it. It is inevitable. It's not like they might ask you, they will ask you. And what you've got to know is you've got to know how to give them really fast, concise information. If you can't do that, they'll end up going to Amazon, Googling it, buying it from somewhere else. And I want you to be the one that gets the free product. This is the other awkwardness. And I think that so many network marketers stay in denial about this. They do. And I hate this piece of it. This is where Mary Kay, just to be quite honest, and I know Bonnie can attest to this, this is where their training, it's like what separates the boys from the men, because we were taught to be independent almost from our probably 15-day in. By our 15th day in Mary Kay, we were independent of our upline. And this is why. And so let's say that, Christy, your mom was at your party the other night, and she's watched you have these amazing results. Your mom does not want to talk to me. Like, I don't take that personally. It's not a bad thing. Your friends legitimately, when they say, oh my gosh, how did you lose that weight? And you say to them, let me get my good friend Amy on the phone. Their immediate thought is, I do not want to talk to that used car salesperson in the plaid jacket. I mean, you guys get real. Like, if you wanted to buy a shampoo from the network marketing company, do you want to talk to the executive? No. You want to know from your friend how to buy it. And so we lose so many people in that process. And so what the purpose of the training call is to cut that out, to cut out that awkwardness. And so with the 10 training calls, they're not follow-up calls, they're actual calls so that your person can learn. It is fine to even verbalize that. So if your person that's a product user, if you can get them to do 10 three-way calls with you or 7 three-way calls with you that are practice. So they're saying, I'm going to start using these products. I know I'm getting results. Would you be willing to do a practice call with me so that I can learn how to give the information? Whenever they do that with you, and then their mom goes, how did you do that? Because they've heard the practice calls, they're able to say, hey, can I call you really quick? Go over the information without getting you on the line. And if they get you on the line, it's for a follow-up, which that's perfect. Oh, I use three-way calls 20 times a week for follow-ups. But since my first week in Isogenics, I've never had to say, let me have Hillary call you, because I got trained my first week. I just did all my training calls the first week. Does that make sense to you guys, what I'm saying? So when you're not doing that, it's a disservice. But you have to really communicate it to people. We had a girl, Christy and I had a girl, we were talking to Stephanie last week, and Stephanie said, well, none of my friends want to do the three-way call. And I was like, okay, so tell me about that. And she said, well, you know, my brother saw my post and he said to me, how did you do that? And I said, well, let me get my friend Christy on the phone with you. And he said, well, you can't tell me about it. You're not good enough to tell me about it yourself. And so I literally had to say to her, okay, that's what I'm talking about. So what you want to do is you want to find 5 nice people that will listen to you and Christy for a training call so that you can go back and talk to your brother yourself. And she was like, oh, well, I could consider giving that a try. I'm like, oh, I hope you do. So anyway, I don't know if that makes sense, but we've got to really stay on top of that. And so we're going to go back and talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So when you're doing the training calls, your purpose is to train them. But you guys, if your job, if every day for 5 years you did 3 calls every single day, 3 opportunity shares every single day for 5 years, there's no way in network marketing you would not be earning a multi-6-figure income. It's just not even possible. And so if you have 5 people that you're doing 10 training calls with, that's 50 opportunity shares that can go up on your whiteboard that are happening for you. So it's not a favor for them. It's not a favor that you're doing the calls for them. It's actually getting you in front of people and giving you the opportunity to share while they learn. And then they're earning money as well. So it's getting them trained. It's getting them to consultant. It's opportunity shares for you. Okay. But if they don't do it, I don't work with them. If they don't do it, I'm peace out. I don't tell them peace out, but I'm like, see ya. Because if I'm not going to deal with all that awkwardness and people not being willing to train and that type of thing. Because for me, it's easier for me to go find new people than it is to try to coach someone that's not coachable. So if they don't do, Mallory, are you like raising your hand for a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to interrupt you. But okay, so I mean, you say that, so how much time do you give them before they say, or before you just let them go? How much time do you give them before you move on to the next? Does that make
Yeah, it makes total sense. I don't know if it's a time thing or an attitude thing, if that makes sense. So for example, I mean, let me just get real. From the moment I talked to any of you guys, it was probably a week's time and your training was done. If they're worth their salt, they're going to do it. And if they're not, then I move on. I become reactive to them is what I do. So I'm not like, oh, I'm never going to talk to you. But instead of being proactive with them, I become reactive. So if they have a call for me, I'll do it. But I'm not going to proactively seek after them because I can go talk to 10 people myself and get them in easier than I can wait for them.
Okay.
So now I'm super direct. And I know that you know that. I am super direct. So I will say, like with Christy's girl, Stephanie, like she kept coming at me and kept coming at me. And
For 45 minutes.
And I'm just like, okay, like I'm this close to telling Christy to peace out on her because I'm like, if she can't be coachable, we don't have time. We live an intentional life. We have families, we have kids. We're looking for people that can do 5 flipping calls or 10 flipping calls so they know how to answer questions. And I don't mean that in an ugly way. It's just don't tell me you want to make money and then not follow the system. So I said to her, Stephanie, are you willing to do these training calls? If I told you that we could fix this in an hour and 20 minutes and you're never going to be in this situation again, would you be willing to do them? And she said, yes. And I said, okay, who are they? And so then she started giving Christy the names. But if she would have just kept coming at me, I would have been like, okay, well, let me know if you have anyone. Let me know what you need. And mentally, I would have never verbalized to her, I'm out. But mentally, I would have became reactive to her and went and found somebody else.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions about that?
I mean, kind of. I'm finding that, like, Melanie.
Yes.
She's been saying that she has them and she's got this list of people and she showed you the list of people, but she still has yet to get anybody on the phone with me.
Okay.
I just talked to her last night and I don't know if it's her being older, like the idea, because I mean, I've managed people before. And so I know that like their thought process is different and it takes them a little bit longer to like adapt and with the change and things like that. So I don't know if it's that, like, I don't know, but you know, you and I did the call with her and she's like, okay, that was like 3 weeks ago. Like, I'm going to get these people on the phone. And I still have not talked to anybody, but she always, you know, she brought her mom and she's trying. Like, I see that aspect, but then on the other side, I don't feel like she's really like pushing forward and she's verbalized all of these like goals of hers to you and I both. So I'm like, what do I do?
Okay. I'm so glad that you asked that question because Melanie is like the polar opposite of what I'm talking about, really, where I would not peace out on her because this is the deal. She's just a high I personality. So she's all over the map. So she's never going to have, like, there's probably not, like for me, I say I'm not very anal, but I have some C in my personality. Like I have some directive and I do live intentionally. She is all I. So I would have a very direct warm because she's only going to respond to warm, but I would have a warm and very direct conversation with her. Melanie, I know that you can do this, but there is one gap that I see. And I believe if we fix the gap, you're going to be light years ahead. Are you willing to do this with me? Are you willing for me to help you to fix the gap? She's going to say yeah, because she is. And you're going to say, the training calls Amy was talking about, we have to do them. So let me ask you this. Who would your 2 nicest people be that would just listen? And so you're going to baby step that because she's a high I. So get her 2 nicest people. Okay, Melanie, when could they listen? Because she's a high I, she's going to try to put it off till next week. Say, when could they listen in the next 48 hours? I really want to have 2 done in the next 48 hours. Who would those people be that could just listen? Does that kind of make sense? Now, she's going to do that, but you will have to be very like that directive with her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think once she gets on it, she'll be fine, but I guarantee you she talks way too much. I would put money on it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I kind of lost where I'm at. Hold on just a second. Okay. So one thing I would consider doing if I were you guys, let me ask you this. Do you guys remember this? Your paycheck is directly related to what? How many what? Do you guys know?
Cheers.
Your paycheck is directly related to how many opportunity shares you do each day. It doesn't matter whether it's from you or someone else. It doesn't matter. Your paycheck is directly related to opportunity shares. There's a lot of fluff that goes into getting the opportunity shares that we have to go through, we have to deal with and live with, and we do that. But bottom line, your income is directly related to the number of opportunity shares that you're doing every single day. And so if that's the case, I think that one thing that you guys have, praise God, is that you have opportunity within your teams, like the statement, there's a miracle in your own house. So I would look at who do you have on your team, even 4 levels deep. So who did you recruit? Who did they recruit? And who did they recruit? Because all of that counts towards your executive bonus. It's all going to drive crystal managers. It's all going to drive volume up to your key people. So in no way are you forsaking your key people. So looking 4 levels deep, who do you have that you think maybe didn't get an excellent back office training? Who do you have that maybe doesn't understand that they need to do 10 training calls? And if they did them, it could change everything for you. This is a little bit about like what we were talking about on Monday. I mean, you look at driving your volume, particularly those of you on shared legs, driving volume up those weaker sides. My goodness, what you can do. Just digging down, and then that's duplication. It's duplication, guys. You get 5 people that learn how to do those 3-way phone calls, learn how to overcome objections. I mean, it like gives me goosebumps when I think about the number of people on our team that know how to give information and overcome objections and sign people Johnny on the spot. That's duplication. And so dig down 4 levels deep and look at that. And so that's all about those the training calls. I really feel like that has been the one driving force of the growth in our team, because we have so many people that are independent. And so get your people independent. The next thing you're going to be teaching on the back office training and going through that is the curiosity posting. I don't even need to tell you guys about it. I'm so proud of how you curiosity post. Like, I don't know where you came from or what, how God's blessed me with you and your curiosity posting, but it is amazing. I look forward every single day to what you guys are putting up there. I don't even need to touch on that. And I also think you duplicate that deep into our teams. It's almost like I can look at a Facebook page and know at the root came from you guys. I mean, you're just doing an amazing job with that. So of course, just continuing on with that. And then the next thing I really want to talk to you about, and I really want to get real with you, is the follow-up off of those curiosity posts. And so I want you to be real with me for just a second, and I don't want you to tell me a canned answer. Let's say that you make a curiosity post. You're trained. I'm not talking about your team. I'm not asking you what you think I want to hear. I'm asking you for you. So you make an amazing post and it's a prospect you really want. And you're like, I can't believe they commented. I'm going to get them. What do? I say you aside, university in action aside, celebration aside, anything you've ever heard aside, what do you do in order to get that person enrolled? And don't lie. Who can tell me?
I mean, for me personally, I don't usually, I know I need to, but I don't usually go into the likes. I might put them on a prospect list, but I literally just write them down. I don't necessarily reach out to them, which I need to change. But for the people who comment, I mean, I literally do exactly what we've talked about. Like, I literally do that. So I just say, hey, I'll message you. And then in the message, I just tell them it's nutritional cleansing. I love it. Can we get on a phone call? And then I call them.
Okay. Say that last part again.
It's nutritional cleansing. I love it. And then get them on a phone call.
Okay. Say that one more time.
It's nutritional cleansing. I love it. Can we get on the phone?
Okay. So you don't say to them, hey, I have a great video I'd love to send to you.
I don't.
Okay. Who agrees with what Mallory's saying, that that's what you do? Okay.
I've been slacking in that. You know, I had about 60-something likes on that weight on the scale one.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't even did anything with those at all.
Okay. Bonnie, today, go back to that. You're 1 inch away from 4-star. You know what I mean? Like, go back to it today, go back to that. Guys, we say to people, it's nutritional cleansing. Can I call you? That's what we do. Then why in the world are we saying to our teams, send them a video? Because it doesn't work. It's a commercial. It worked 3 years ago. People from It Works and Beachbody and Genesis Pure and all of these insane network marketers have ruined that. It does not work. Get them on a call. And you've got to teach your team to do the same, but that's why the training calls are so important. If you've done 10 training calls with them, they can say, can I call you? And they're going to be able to get on the phone and tell them what they need and then use the tools for the follow-up, guys. But the only way that you're going to make that happen is to duplicate yourself by doing the training calls. That's why that's so imperative. That's why if they don't do the training calls, I'm only reactive to them. I do have them send the video because I can't fix that. You know, so they send the video and then maybe a couple people call back and want information, but the people that are getting recruits are the people that know how to give the information. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, so that's in the follow-up. Okay, then the last thing we're going to talk about is this. Also then on 2 more things. Then you want to make sure you're copying and pasting the boot camp trainings to them. Guys here, if they're business people, business associates, you're saying here are these 10 boot camp calls. I challenge you to listen to 1 a day, every day for 10 days. This is the deal. The people that listen to those are the people that hit executive. I don't think it's the calls doing it. I think it's what separates the boys from the men. Like if they're willing to do those boot camp calls and listen to them, and I have them message me after every call and give me feedback, what that means to me is they're committed. And so those are the people that I work with, working with the new and the few, the new people and the few people that are sticking with the program. Okay, this is the last thing. And then the last thing is this. The other thing that you want to do through that back office training is if you have a business builder, you want to really vision with them. If you don't have a business builder, you're not going to go here. But if you have a business builder that really wants to build, you want to find out what do they want? What are their goals? What are their vision? And you want to really help them design what they want their team to look like on that executive chart. Who do they want on their team? Like have them literally write it down. I'll fill out that chart with them. I'll be like, okay, so who is it? Who would you love to have? And you're going to write them down, and then you're going to try to direct them to get those business builder prospects on the phone with you. And so that's really what that training looks like, with ultimately above every single thing, the goal being that you are helping them to get product results, A, that you're getting them in a regimen, that B, you're teaching them the curiosity post, and C, you're doing those practice training calls with them. That's really, that's the goal. That's why it's so important. And if you take them through that system and you stick with it and you stick with it and you stick with it, then it's always the same. Then you're going to find them doing it because you did it. It becomes a pattern. Your success is in your pattern. What you do day after day after day, that's the pattern. And so you want to really keep that in place so that that pattern's moving forward. Now, our next call, we're going to dig in and we're going to talk about those people that, you know, are wanting to move up. So questions, anybody? Oh, Bonnie, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm always on mute now. So you were saying, I know Mallory said people that comment, she would say, it's nutritional cleansing. I love it. Can we talk? But what about somebody that just likes? I mean, kind of, I've been honestly, like, truth, I've been resistant about that because I feel like just a like is not really a it's not really a comment. Like, well, what is it? They're not really asking me. It's like, how would you approach that? I mean, have you had success? Anybody
absolutely.
online just by?
This is what you're looking for. You're not looking for one like. One like could be, oh, I like that. But if they've liked maybe 3 posts and it's becoming a pattern, that's what I'm really looking for. They're shopping in your store. And so when you go and message them, that is not going to be a surprise to them. They're like, when it's not, they're almost expecting it. Like if I drive through the Mercedes dealership, I expect that guy to come out. Does that make sense?
So what do you say? And I'm trying to think.
The same thing. Exactly. You say, hey, Bonnie, and I'm just thinking I would absolutely love to share with you about the nutritional cleansing program I've been doing. I think you would love it. Would you be willing to listen? That's it.
Say that one more time because somebody was texting me while you said that.
Okay. I would just say something like, hey, Bonnie, I would absolutely love to tell you about the nutritional cleansing program I've been using. I think you would love it. Would you be willing to listen? Yeah. I'm not talking about one like, but if there's 2 or 3 likes and it's consistent, they're going to say yes. I mean, I think about Angel Bufford, who right now is, I'm telling on myself right now, but she'll be our next executive. I mean, she'll be wrapping it up here in about 7 days. And she just would like my stuff. She never asked me about it. She never commented on it. But every time I posted a picture, she would like it. And I messaged her that exact message. If that makes sense. So that if they're liking it more than once, it is intentional. And so when you go and message them, that will not come as a surprise to them at all. Okay, anybody else? All right, I hope this helps. I know it was a little bit redundant today, but I just wanted to go back and cover the system again so that I make sure we have that in order for us to build the next 2 calls on top of, if that makes sense. All right. Well, you guys, amazing rally again this week. I'm like, holy shiitake mushrooms. Like I get on today and I'm like, holy cow, you guys are freaking awesome. So way to rally. So yeah. All right. So
Thank you.
if you guys need anything. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Amy. Y'all have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.